Namaste, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया. I am JVN Dr. Minakshi, Assistant Professor in Department of Shalakya Tantra, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Today in this session, we will discuss the clinical varieties of myopia and the topic of refractive error after that, and other topics of refractive error. And the previous session, we discussed the uh, myopia, its definition, its clinical etiological classification, and the grading of the myopia. And now we'll discuss the clinical varieties of myopia. There can be congenital myopia, second simple or developmental myopia, third pathological or degenerative myopia, fourth is the acquired or secondary myopia, which occurs secondary to some other disease or factors are as follows. The they can be post-traumatic, due to which secondary myopia may occur, and secondary myopia may occur secondary to post-keratic due to drug-induced or pseudomyopia, phase myopia. Next is night myopia or consecutive myopia. Then first type of myopia is the congenital myopia. It is present since birth. The congenital myopia is usually diagnosed by the age of 2 to 3 years. Anisometropia is usually present, hence most of the time the error is unilateral. Rarely it may be bilateral. The high degree of error, about 8 to 10 diopter, is usually present, which mostly remains constant. The convergent squint may develop in order to preferentially see clear at its far point, which is about 10 to 12 centimeter. Then associations may include other congenital anomalies such as cataract, microphthalmos, aniridia, megalocornea, and congenital separation of retina. The early correction of congenital myopia is desirable. Then it is simple myopia. The simple or developmental myopia is the commonest variety. It is considered as a physiological error not associated with any disease of the eye. The overall reported prevalence is 20 to 40% of population. Since the sharpest rise occurs at a school going age, that is between 8 years to 12 years, so it is called school myopia. Then etiology. It results from normal biological variation in the development of eye, which may or may not be genetically determined. Some factors associated with simple myopia are as follows. First is the axial type of simple myopia may signify just a physiological variation in the length of the eyeball, or it may be associated with precocious neurological growth during childhood. A curvature type of simple myopia is considered be due to underdevelopment of the eyeball. The role of diet in early childhood has also been reported without any conclusive results. Then role of genetics. Genetics play some role in the biological variation of the development of the eye, as prevalence of myopia is more in children with both parents myopic than the children with parent one parent myopic, and children with no parent myopic is different. Theory of excessive near work in childhood was only put forward but did not gain much importance. In fact, there is no truth in the folklore that myopia is aggravated by close work, watching television, and by not using glasses. Then the clinical features of myopia. First, the symptoms of myopia. The poor vision for distance, short sightedness, is the main symptom of myopia. The asthenopic symptoms may occur in patients with small degree of myopia. Half shutting of the eyes may be complained by parents of the child. The child does so to achieve the greater clarity of the stenopic vision. Then what are the signs of myopia? The prominent eyeballs. The myopic eyes typically are large and somewhat prominent. Anterior chamber is slightly deeper than normal. Pupils are somewhat large and a bit sluggishly reacting. Fundus is normal. Rarely temporal, myopic crescent may be seen. The magnitude of refractive error. Simple myopia usually occurs between 5 and 10 years of age, and it keeps on increasing till about 18 to 20 years of age at a rate of about minus zero point 0.5 plus minus zero point 0.3 every year. In simple myopia, usually the error is low to moderate, that usually does not exceed minus 6 diopter. Then, what is pathological myopia? The pathological or degenerative or progressive myopia, as the name indicates, is a rapidly progressive error which starts in childhood at the age of 5 to 10 years and results in high myopia, that is equal to more than minus 6 diopter during early adult life, which is usually associated with degenerative changes in the eye. It is less common, about 2% of population. Then etiology of the pathological myopia. It is unequivocal that the pathological myopia results from a rapid axial growth of the eyeball, which is outside the normal biological variations of development. To explain this spurt in axial growth, various theories have been put forward. So far, no satisfactory hypothesis has emerged to explain the etiology of pathological myopia. However, it is definitely linked with hereditary and general growth process. Then, what is the role of hereditary in the pathological myopia? It is now confirmed that genetic factors play a major role in the etiology, as the progressive myopia is familial, more common in certain races like Chinese, Japanese, Arabs, and Jews, and uncommon among Negroes, Nubians, and Sudanese, and more common in women than men. Autosomal dominant pathological myopia has been linked to genes 18p11 31 12q21 33. It is presumed that hereditary linked growth of retina is the determinant in the development of myopia. The sclera, due to its distensibility, follows the retinal growth, but the choroid undergoes degeneration due to stretching, which in turn causes degeneration of retina. Then, what is the role of general growth process in the pathological myopia? Though minor, cannot be denied on the progress of myopia. The lengthening of the posterior segment of the globe commences only during the period of active growth and probably ends with the termination of the active growth. Therefore, the factors such as nutritional deficiency, debilitating diseases, endocrine disturbances, and indifferent general growth, which affect the general growth process, will also influence the progress of myopia. Here is the etiological hypothesis for pathological myopia. It is summarized as below. The genetic factors play the major role. General growth factors play the minor role. There will be more growth of retina, then there will be stretching of sclera, which will lead to the increased axial length, degeneration of choroid, degeneration of retina, and degeneration of vitreous. These are all the features of pathological myopia. This is the etiological hypothesis for pathological myopia. Then, what are the clinical features or pathological myopia? The symptoms are defective vision. There is considerable failure in visual function as the error is usually high. Further, due to progressive degenerative changes, an uncorrectable loss of vision may occur. The second symptom is the volitantis, that is floating black opacities in front of the eyes, are also accompanied by many patients. These occur due to degenerated liquefied vitreous. The night blindness may be accompanied by very high myopes having marked degenerative changes. And what are the signs of the pathological myopia? There are prominent eyeballs. The eyes are often prominent, appearing elongated and even simulating an exophthalmos, especially in unilateral cases. The elongation of the eyeball mainly affects the posterior pole and surrounding area. The part of the eye anterior to the equator may be normal. The cornea is large. Anterior chamber is deep. Pupils are slightly large and react sluggishly to light. On fundus examination, there will be some characteristic signs like optic disc appears large and pale, and its temporal edge, a characteristic myopic crescent, is present. Sometimes peripapillary crescent encircling the disc may be present, where the choroid and retina is distracted away from the disc margin. A supertraction crescent, where the retina is pulled over the disc margin, may be present on the nasal side. In this image, they have shown the elongation of the eyeball posterior to the equator in the pathological myopia. We have read that only the posterior pole is more affected, the anterior pole is not affected. The part of the eye posterior to the equator is affected. In this image, they have shown the temporal myopic crescent. You can see the choroid, the sclera. Then there will be degenerative changes in retina and choroid, which will be seen on fundoscopy. They are common in progressive myopia. These are characterized by chorioretinal atrophic patches at the macula with a little heaping up of pigment around them. There will be Foster Fuchs spot, dark red circular patch due to subretinal neovascularization, and choroidal hemorrhage may be present at the macula. There will be cystoid degeneration may be seen at the periphery. Lattice degeneration and or snail track lesions with or without retinal holes or tears may be present, which later may be complicated by retinal detachment. And total retinal atrophy, particularly in the central area, may occur in advanced cases. And there can be posterior staphyloma in pathological myopia due to ectasia or sclera at the posterior pole may be apparent as an excavation with the vessels bending backward over its margins. There can be degenerative changes in vitreous, include the liquefaction, vitreous opacities, and posterior vitreous detachment (PVD) appearing as vis reflex. Here is an image of the Foster Fuchs spot and the peripapillary and macular degeneration. These changes will be seen on fundus examination in pathological myopia. Then the visual fields may show contraction. In some cases, ring scotoma may be seen. ERG may reveal subnormal electroretinogram due to chorioretinal atrophy. Then what are the complications of pathological myopia? There is retinal detachment, complicated cataract, vitreous hemorrhage, choroidal hemorrhage, strabismus fixus convergence, and primary open glaucoma. Not a complication, but is a reported association. This session completes here. Thank you so much. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you so much.